For a lot of people, it can be really overwhelming when you start looking for a house to really break down what your actual wants and needs are. Today, I'm going to go over a quick and easy way to break down that process. So this is after a client has already talked to a lender and knows how much they can afford, which we talked about in the last video. So this is to narrow things down that are within their price range. First, we're going to get a kind of general overview of your lifestyle. Who's going to be living there? Kids, pets, frequent guests? When people visit your home, what do you want it to say about you? How many bedrooms will you need and how will those be used? Are things like schools something that you need to factor into your decision? Are there any neighborhoods or areas of town you like? How big a yard do you need? Do you like to entertain? Do you want it to be move-in ready or are you willing to do some work on it? Are there any accessibility accommodations to take into account? We're basically just trying to get an idea of what your day-to-day looks like and figure out the things that are important to you. And you might not have a ton of requirements and be okay with a range of things. It's just good to go through all these questions early on. From there, we translate those lifestyle questions into characteristics that would be included in your dream home and we list them. We can take a look for features that show up on multiple lists to help us determine some top priorities. Then we try and narrow that down to our top 10 features, 5 that are absolutely non-negotiable, and 5 that would be nice but aren't deal breakers. Those non-negotiables are different for everyone. For some people, it's no stairs because they want to age comfortably in the house. For others, it's a bathtub because they have little ones, or maybe they need a studio room and gig internet to run a small business. It all depends on your personal lifestyle and needs, which is why we think so thoroughly about that ahead of time. As we start to look at properties, some of the priorities might change depending on market conditions or just based on the experiences of being inside different houses. This is just a good place to start. Some of these questions might be things you hadn't thought about before, and some might have answers that you've been set on for a long time. But getting it written out and really discussing your day-to-day routines helps us figure out some of the priorities and make the process typically go a bit smoother. If you want to see more questions or considerations or more about other steps in the buying process, get our free guide to home buying at the link in our bio or shoot us a DM. This has been part 3 of our FAQ Friday series on the home buying process. Come back next week where we're going to talk about finding and selecting properties. Happy house hunting!